Good morning, freedom fighters. It is 7:39 a.m. East Coast time, July 16th, 2025. I seen something very unusual on satellite as usual, but it reminds me of what I witnessed in the Gulf the other day when there was ripples in the sky and a clear blue sky and a storm formed out of nothing within minutes. Ripples in the sky, a thunderstorm formed. Well, we're witnessing the same thing happen over South Dakota and the neighboring state here. I'm not sure exactly which one I'm looking at. But watch how this forms out of nothing here. Right there. Instantly downpours. Let's go to Zoom Earth during that time. You can already see there's ripples. Kind of 1, 2, 3. And these continue. 1, 2, 3. These storms form from literally nothing. I'm on a different internet. I'm on my mother's internet. I am at her house at the moment. But these storms form out of nothing. Massive storms. Very slow internet here. Thought about boosting it up. But massive storms, Nebraska and South Dakota yesterday. I mean, they formed out of nothing. They didn't come from anywhere. There wasn't a cloud. The same thing I witnessed over the Gulf. The ripples started. Like when it happens, it's instant. You know, it's in less than 20 minutes or something. And that's probably about the time frame I witnessed of how that was created in front of our shrimp boats. And then a microburst of wind hit the water from mirror slick calm to whitecaps instantly. Okay, we're looking at the same area. It's right here. There's not a cloud. And you can see this beam going across this area. Constant pounding of that energy. And there's plenty of these beams that might be lighter that we're not seeing, but you see plenty of activity from this device right here that needs to be shut off. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's dozens of these devices in this area. If this isn't machine manipulated weather systems, I don't know what is. We should be able to show this to an officer of the law and have them go arrest these people. They're creating weather with technologies. Do you understand how difficult that is to get through to somebody? But it's real. Very much real. And they keep bombarding it with these microwave energies. My uncle and them just told me they watched a movie how they were stopping tornadoes in a movie with microwave energy, but they're not stopping this stuff, they're creating it. It was maybe developed to help control the weather in a good reason, but it's been turned into a weapon. And they have removed countries with their ability to provide crops. I see droughts going on all over the world. Not a drop of rain falls without these people's permission. And they're creating weather events that is killing people, flooding areas within minutes, not within hours and minutes. Very difficult to bear. Let's move on to something else I see. Let me take a look-see here. First thing I seen when I went outside was a chemtrail that went all the way across the sun from my coast. And I wonder if that's not part of it. See it chemtrailing in Georgia. So who do we call? Florida's outlawed geoengineering. I see them geoengineering the entire storm in our Gulf of Mexico right now. Who do we call? Where's the number to call? I need 300 million Americans to call that number right now. They're creating a storm in the Gulf of Mexico as we speak. And I want to show you something. These ships out here are all part of an operation. They're not here now. It's turned off. They're gone. Where have they gone? I imagine they're still sitting out there or refueling, but their burners are turned off. We do not put out trails with ships. That does not happen. It is not natural. Same as aircraft does not put out 1,000-mile long ice trails. All of this smoke, also, you can see the smoke's going across the Atlantic and it forms into this bow here. Sandstorms coming from Africa. It's part of the program. I seen in China they had 100-mile-an-hour winds, not a hurricane because they created it with frequencies. Oh, good Lord. Our entire planet's clouded over. It's not a beautiful blue ball anymore, is it? My aunt asked me, why would they do this? I said, they're working for the devil. They're destroying the garden. I see it, the entire earth is the Garden of Eden. We were supposed to be gardeners of this beautiful planet, and we stomp it to the ground. That's the actual daylight of our planet right now, if you don't realize what you're looking at. Everything else is under darkness. Moving on. Okay, my friends, this is going back a little ways. 2004 with Ivan. You're going to see all these NEXRADs and 5G HARP towers that was in place at that time manipulate this weather system, and they are doing it today like we've never dreamed of in 2004. Very distinct how they destroyed the cold front that would have steered. Let's see if I can slow this down. Okay, there's a cold front here. It usually would steer a storm and push it back out into the Atlantic. With the Coriolis effect that all of our storms curve, they don't ever really, they have the same effect, they kind of curve out as a spinning planet. No hurricanes has ever crossed the equator, understand that? But they turn this energy on to destroy the cold front, and you can actually see how it flattens out the storm itself, the energy does. But they can lock the storm in place instead of letting it rotate on out of here off the storm. It's like bouncing off a wall. But see how it flattens the storm out? Technology being used to stall out a hurricane so they can have even more intense rainfalls. Now, I can show you a bunch of different hurricanes here with the same effect taking place. And we're going to see hurricanes like we've never seen before. This is their energy taking place in 2004. Here is Gene in 4 as well with the same energy taking place. I don't know how long this video is going to run. My computer has been heavily manipulated. I've erased about everything, and we'll see how far this goes. Hopefully I can get a good video out to y'all. I know there's some people that really enjoys what I have to say, and I really appreciate y'all. Thank you for your comments. They're truly inspiring and heartbreaking when I hear people losing everything. Speaking of losing everything, here's Hurricane Katrina, where me and my uncle and my family in Louisiana lost everything. 1,100 people died in the storm in Louisiana alone. It was forecast to go to Texas when I flew to Florida, and then it turned and came straight up towards us within a days. The forecast changed. Our wind meter broke at 210 mile an hour at Port Sulphur. I seen major paths of tornadoes through that landscape, but you can see the manipulation of these towers as well, even through Katrina. They will never admit to these technologies because the liability of killing 1,100 people would be too great. I'm not sure what the next storm is, but these technologies are very much seen here in Lily in 2002 as well. Very distinctly how they can manipulate these weather systems and target a specific area. Specific. How do you say that? This is Rita. I remember Rita. right after Katrina, if I remember correctly. All right, moving on. You can see plenty here that these technologies are manipulating these weather systems. Here's off North Carolina. They can slow these down and make it bump along the coast too. There's another one here. Maybe I'll let it play, but they literally let it just bump along the coast. Do ultimate damage. If they want to do damage with a hurricane, all they got to do is slow it down. Just like this seems to be a slowed hurricane. A tree can handle being bent back and forth for 10 minutes, but it can't handle it for 10 hours. You know what I mean? The amount of damage over hourly is incredible. See how it's bumping along the coast now? That energy seems to be helping it. God have mercy to know all this. Our country has more of these devices than I've ever dreamed they would put up along my coast. They were something very unusual in Florida last night. Hang on a minute. I got it recorded, but maybe I can still see it here. But they have everything in place, my friends. Owning the weather's not an issue now. That is not the one I picked. My mom's internet's so slow compared to mine. Yep, she bought the cheaper one, and I can tell. Which I understand. It's not trying to compare anything. Just I bought the medium internet, and it's definitely faster. I let it load here. Anyhow, I'm trying to get more mobile. I want to get me a camper. I would like to go out on the road and take this information somehow, truthfully. Yeah, it's very glitchy. Sorry about that, guys. I just kind of got rid of my apartment. I want to try to get me an RV. I want to try to hit the road. I've read, somebody told me, you can go to the Bible and read the passage and it'll kind of tell you stuff to do. And the first one I read was go to the temples and save lives. I'm not real sure exactly which passage. I got it here somewhere. I'm moved, so all my stuff's disorganized. Sorry, but I'm very personal with you guys, and I think some of y'all are to me as well. But very unusual activity in Florida last night. These pulses that's coming off these towers. There we go. Let me go to the northern region here. Sorry for the little being, human. I'm just human, guys. Just a commercial fisherman that wants his life back. I'm gonna pause it and let this load for you, but you can see all the towers binging off here. Okay, my friends, I messed up and hit the pause button. Had to re-video everything here. But watch here in the southeast United States. All of the towers and X-rays are working together. And everything beat bloops at one time, like thousands of towers or the major towers does something here. All of this technology is working together, my friends. Having major problems with my computer here. How you have the plug-in mouse and keyboard, all of a sudden that whole system quit working. I had to come back to the laptop. They hate us. They hate me making these videos because it shows their technology. There's only a few people on the planet that's paying attention, whether there's 10,000 of us or a million of us. It's nobody, even a million people is not anybody in the planet. So very few people is paying attention here whatsoever. But all of these technologies are working together to control the weather. I don't know how else to put it. As soon as I hit the pause button on here, everything shut off on my keyboard, and my mouse quit working. I don't get it. But all of their technology working together. That's all that is right there. All right, this is it playing forward. All the towers ping at one time. That's a better word for it, I would believe. Pinging. Why is that happening? You know what I mean? Why are so many satellites pinging at one time? I mean, cell phone towers pinging at one time. My friends, we're in trouble. That's why they're doing it. We're in major trouble. They don't like people like me. They're building prisons for people like me. They'll come to knock on the door and yank me out of here without ever hearing from me ever again. It's happened before to people. Scary what I see going on with these weather control technologies, people flooding, losing properties, fires destroying properties. They can burn Florida from Gulf Coast to Atlantic Coast. Oh, Hollywood was just a demonstration. Hawaii was a land grab. Imagine them thinking that the United States is doing it. No, watch Hollywood. We'll burn it to the ground. I guarantee people got those memos. Countries are falling in line, I bet now. Where's all the ships? You know, if it's just ship traffic, those ships are always out here. They're not going anywhere. That's not the ones doing it, though. Your container ships aren't doing this. These are geoengineering super tankers pumping out material in our Pacific Ocean. They're not here today. In fact, everything seems very clear. I can only imagine the fires from yesterday that was started. I have not looked. Let's look together if this thing will let me. You can see the ships were out here yesterday still. You can see a trail right there. Very glitchy. Oh, there's a massive fire. I knew I would see one. Oregon, it was your turn. Looks like it started pretty quickly. Go back a few hours. Looks like it had been burning the day before. Yes, at daybreak it was burning all around both sides of this lake. It looks like a lake. It might be a burn scar. I'm not sure. I have never been there. Massive fires. They love fires where you can't fight them. It's almost funny that every one of my videos, unusual images out of New York and Texas, well, those two areas just got heavily flooded. And each one of these, I speak of a certain area of interest, and those areas happen to have historic floods all of a sudden. You know, it's just like, how can I be seeing these if they're natural? How can I kind of show that they're about to flood, you know? I don't know. I'm just trying to connect the dots there for y'all a little bit. Really scary what I see going in our Gulf right now. I don't know where this attack's going to take place, whether it's Texas, and I haven't looked at their prediction. Their prediction of where they're going to make it land. I don't even know if it's called a prediction anymore. These people are telling me what to do. We used to go and investigate weather systems. We didn't go out and tell you that they're going to form in the next 7 days without a cloud being here. When I got the notice they were going to form one here, there wasn't a cloud out here. And all this came across Florida yesterday. But I'm going to let you go, my friends. I still got some stuff I got to tighten up. And what is today? Wednesday. All righty. See what I can leave y'all with. Thank you to the Warriors at 20 minutes. Okay, my friends, I'm going to leave you with this. Such a glitchy system right now because it's just no data, I guess. I don't know. Mom's just very much slower. Nobody else doing anything right now, but funny how these providers, even like our GPS, you don't get any of your information on your GPS you used to get 25 years ago unless you buy the $3,500 model. The $900 model don't have that feature. What's the same with your internet and everything else, man? They just nickel and dime us to death about everything. These corporations, my trucks used to be 10 grand, now they're 100 grand. They used to be made of metal. The dash was metal. Everything was metal. The door handles was metal. They were 10, 12 grand brand new. Now it's 870 grand, 80 grand, and everything's plastic. My truck's 2010 is a piece of garbage. Garbage. They have sold us garbage, and they continue to feed us garbage. Your TV man feeds you loads of garbage with a shovel every night, your weatherman. And what I want to show you is this squared off area down here right before I let you go. I've never seen weather square off like it has in New Mexico or wherever that is. See if we can get into the, let it play one more time. Watch this square off here. Never seen the desert turn green. My truck driving buddy's like, I've never seen the desert green before. Well, nobody else has either, buddy. They are doing this. Crazy what they're getting away with. Squared off storms. But commercial fishermen standing by as this one loads for the last time here. Everything's very slow on this internet because you got to pay for it if you want it. Nothing's free in this freaking, what would you call them? A parasitic control group. They want all your money, your land. They want to control the air you breathe, the TV you watch, the food you eat, and the weather that falls on your head tonight. They control it all. Commercial fishermen standing by. I hope y'all understand why I make these videos, trying to show their evil plans. I want y'all to have a great day, a good night, a good morning, or a good evening, whatever timeline you happen to be on. It is 6:30 a.m. here in the United States, East Coast time, and it is 8:36 p.m. in the Philippines, where my dad is going to bed. Good night, my friends over there on this side, and good morning to my friends over here. Commercial Fisherman out.